All right, speculators, let's fire up the TDG Futures Fanatic live stream for the afternoon of Thursday, August 7th, 2025. Welcome to the stream. You can call this the power hour or whatever, the last hour of the day. Tuesday through Thursday, I do stream here on YouTube to answer questions and rant and trade a little. And the headline today, again, is Mini Madness. We do not trade minis in these programs. If you watched the stream yesterday, I am purposely trying to see if I can remove a couple gladiator accounts from my stable at PropShop. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. But before I do that, I wanted to remind everybody of the disclosure, the risk disclosure and disclaimer that this broadcast is for educational purposes only. All the trading is done in simulated trading environments, which should be considered hypothetical and should not be expected to be replicated in a live trading account. Look both ways for across the street. Don't eat yellow snow. If you knew the difference between good advice and bad advice, you wouldn't need any. Okay, catching you up to speed on what's going on. Now, in this attempt to blow up, all I'm doing is trading too big. I'm just trading minis, which are too big for prop accounts of any size. Okay? I'm not trading the strategies. Okay? So the way I get myself into trouble is by doing the ads that you see down there. Of course, those are going to be covering a short right here. So the action that we've had this morning, by the way, who crushed it on the NASDAQ? I called the NASDAQ going red. I did call that this morning. By the way, if you come in here and you're first in and you can do a 1 for picture and sound, that would be great. Appreciate that, just to make sure that everything is working okay. I don't see anybody in the chat yet, so let me see. This is all going all right? Yeah, it's fine. Okay, cool. So attempting to blow up accounts does not mean that we or I am trading levels that don't exist, right? Now, you can be long in the bid zone, or when you have this type of price action, I will occasionally do what you see here. This is called developing situational fluency, which is you got a little bit of slope to the angles here. I'm going to get short at the +2 touch. And I'm going to do an ad at this area up here, 63.54. Not what I would do. What I would do is probably run a little buy stop to trail this down. Cancel that. Canceled. Cover would be here, and the first long would be down here at 63.27.50. Okay? So you had 2 micros and covered it first, plus 50 points, second. That's amazing. Remember the NASDAQ was up 200-ish points today, a little, maybe even a little more, and then went red. What I'm also going to do, and this is probably not a good idea, is I'm going to build a NQ chart here in real time for you so you can see it on Tickblaze. But when you bring in the first time, even a few days of Renko data, it could slow everything down, and I might crash the whole stream, but we'll see what happens. So Elad and others, the reason I am looking to blow these accounts up is because of some cool things that are happening with PropShop, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But here's the first 5 that I ever bought, and then I had 10 of these gladiators. I blew a couple of them yesterday, got these down to just 16, 15, 1,300 of remaining available drawdown. But the reason is that I want to get rid of all of these and then just start with 5 new $50,000 warrior accounts. As I mentioned yesterday, PropShop is doing something right now that is a all-in $50,000 account for about $72. What does all-in mean? That means that when you pass it, there's no activation fee. So there's no additional charges. So if you do everything right and you pass it within 1 month, so you don't pay an additional subscription, you're paying $72 for a $50,000 account or $2,500 worth of drawdown. I don't know of any deal quite that good. What I want to teach and train on is getting back to this wire-to-wire challenge. I've gotten away from it a little bit, which was the first 5 that I ever bought. I want to pass those. These are 100,000s. It's not realistic to pass 100,000 trading the TDG way, acorns to oak trees, using micros, thinking risk first, abiding by risk-adjusted returns with a daily risk budget. You're not going to be able to do that. probably for 100,000. But with 50,000, once you're skilled and figure this out, you should be able to do that in a month. And I'm going to do it together with you guys, but I'm going to start on Monday. So they changed the rules in terms of how many accounts you can have. You were grandfathered, but if you blow them up, you weren't. So I said, oh, I'm just going to start blowing them up, and then I can buy 5 more to make it 10. This is a very strange situation. You guys would never do this. I paid $1,500 for these accounts that I'm blowing up. But maybe I don't blow them up. I'm definitely going to blow up 3 of them no matter what. No matter what happens with these, I'm going to blow up 3. I'm just going to purposely blow up 3 because I want to get 2 or 3 of the $70 ones and track those for the trade room and for everything that we got going on there. So anyway, that's the reason for that. But what I'm not doing is doing any variation from the strategies that I show in here. The only variation is trading too big. So if you trade too big, you generally can't take any heat. You can't trade around a position. Everything is a binary decision. Of course, unless you're doing something stupid like trading 2 or 3 NQ or 3 or 4 ES, you won't survive for more than a few weeks. This is Tickblaze. So this is Tickblaze that you're looking at right here. And I have my Tickblaze set up to look just like, essentially like my Ninja. More or less like Ninja.
Order filled.
Now the S&P is generally kind of orderly. So if we really want to screw things up, it would be trading the NASDAQ. So get some of those. I should rephrase. Some of you guys got to be in your bonnet about what I'm saying here. Obviously, if I wanted to blow up an account, I could blow up an account. I could just trade max size, both directions, chew it all up, right? So there's a little, pick up what I'm putting down here, folks. All I'm doing is trading the strategies that you guys know, especially those that are part of my community. I'm just trading a mini, which you can't do. So if you're trying to blow up an account, trade a mini. What I'm not going to do is not trade the strategy, right? Now you could say there's no strategy to get short at the -1s. Sure there is. Once you develop some situational fluency, figure out how this works, see the flow of the market today when we go from green to red, get back inside day, right? You guys have seen that, right? That we're way back inside day, right? We're back inside day and we're bearish continuation pattern now. We'll see if we stay below T-line, right? And you have these targets way down here that are just staring you in the face. We hit them on the Dow, right? So here's your bid zone down here. By the way, let me just make sure you can, I'm going to make this guy a little smaller. So here's your bid zone down here. Okay. And then what happened on the Dow today, right? Where did we go on the Dow? Down to the zone and then through it, right? And now we're making some lower lows. The Dow was a little treacherous for a lot of folks today. Okay, so the only thing coming back, the whole idea of blowing up accounts is if you trade too large, no matter what your strategy is, you put the odds against you and you will likely blow up because there's no strategy that can handle $50 per point, $20 per point in the NASDAQ in $2,500, $3,000, $4,000 accounts. No strategy. So, but if you want a little exercise, trade one mini. You can only trade one, right? Maybe trade 2 if you want. And trade the strategies and see how you do. You do you, boo. I got a lot of people in my group that managed to be down 800,000. I see, we're publishing our accountability. We're publishing showing what the account balances are. And I sometimes marvel at how people are down $700, $800, $900 in an account. I don't know how they're doing it. The only way they possibly could be doing it is doing it incorrectly. So if we want to trade this properly, I put in a buy stop right here.
Order pending. Order canceled.
Cancel this, sell this little swing.
Order canceled.
Whoops.
Order pending.
And this is a swing buy down here at 63.39. And the ultimate level would be down here at -2s at 63.27. Kind of pissed that I found out that they don't activate the warriors in sequential order. Once you buy a gladiator count, then that is gladiator number 6. I wanted to be able to have gladiator number 1, but you can't have gladiator number 1 if you have warriors that are still pending. Probably no one understands what I'm talking about, but okay, so if you're just tuning in, I'm not trying to blow up accounts. I'm just trading minis, which are too big for these accounts. But I'm going to take the same signals and walk you through the theory and logic. Today, I happen to be short from a touch of the -1s because there's some slope. So many people are always like, when do I know or how do I change? You don't always. It's from screen time. There'll be days in which the markets are undulating nice between levels and you want a mean reversion trade. There'll be days in which maybe, for instance, I missed a lot of this decline today. I caught a lot of it on the NASDAQ during our trade room, but then I had to go do important things like Pilates and I had a stretching session, sauna. You got to live your life. Now I come back here and I'm like, whoa, I'm looking now, not with a bias, but I've seen this enough times to want to take some shots at newer lows or at least staying in the bid zone on the S&P for the rest of the day. If there's anything I teach, it's the concept of that, situational fluency. If you ever become a robot or want to learn something like, even if it's something as stupid as ICT, there's not a whole lot of flexibility to that. It's just nonsense looking left and assigning value to bullshit that's happened in the past. Get familiar with walk forward testing something. Let's say you're not in a position. And by the way, let's do this over here on the MES, right? Where we should. I'll do it on the MES in in these accounts that I care about. I don't really care about them, but whatever. Here we go. All right, we're going to place the order in the same place.
Order pending.
At 63.52. When you're first learning the strategy, these are longs in here with targets at VWAP. But for the afternoon, since I've gotten back the last hour and a half, we have not gone up and touched VWAP at all. You can visually see selling pressure. You don't have to look at a bubble or some sort of order flow nonsense. You can just see, have we gotten outside the bid zone for the afternoon session here? Look at this, right up to, right? Nice trade here in hindsight, right? So you can do both. Short the -1s, take targets, target and reverse. I know it's easy after the fact, but for those of you that are starting to follow my stuff, I'm giving you a very simple strategy to execute. You just have to do it. There are a lot of other factors. What was the range? What's the volatility profile? What is the time of day? All kinds of other things. What's your daily risk budget? How many contracts you can trade? Don't worry about all that. Just start with, where do I enter? So many people want that, right? And then just go back and walk forward test stuff. So when I come in, I was gone for all this. I was at the gym for the last hour, two and a half hours. I come back and I just look at this. I'm like, all right, well, buyers cannot get out of this zone today. So I'm going to look to sell touches of the plus ones. Can I get a 1 in the chat if that makes sense? Now, I know some of you are first time here. You don't really know the strategy or whatever, but the idea behind what I'm teaching is flexibility, situational fluency, adaptation. Is -1 normally a long? Sometimes, not always. Can -1 be a short? Yes. The flip side that I get asked a lot is, when do you know when to buy on strong days on pullbacks with trend? I always get killed, Ron. No. This system sucks. I don't understand. Okay. You know, it's clear. And then my favorite is, it's clearly this, or it's clearly that, or there's clearly a strong trend. Okay, fine, whatever. Then identify that, and then pick a moving average or a line, not a moving average, a band that's derived from an average, and trade against it.
Order filled.
Okay? I'm gonna run this down a little bit.
Order modified.
Okay, and as you can see in the lower right-hand corner of the screen there, I understand PropShop's still not available in Europe. Sorry for all my European friends out there. I think by the end of the year, there'll be some solution. For those of you who are wondering why, it's not a good thing, it's a good bad thing. You might think it's lip service that they want to be able to put people in live brokerage markets and copy traders and bring people into their firm and all those things. You might hate the way their programs are structured. I've seen all your comments. I get it. You might think that it's really suspicious when there are payout rule changes, even though 99% of you have never gotten to a payout. But now you have an opportunity for $72 to, if you are in the US or an approved place, to get one of these accounts if you'd like. And through tomorrow, I'm also going to leave what's been a wildly successful, although it got me all fired up yesterday, a wildly successful offer, which is 3 months in the trade room for $249, plus everything you see on Tickblaze, the extreme turn for Ninja, for TradingView. See, I'm long the Dow here. I have a number of these VPSs, so I'm just got a VPS going on the long side of the Dow. The only thing you're supposed to ever be doing, people, is establishing, protecting, and respecting a daily risk budget. All I can tell you is I really appreciate the fact that a number of people in our group now are starting to show, hey, this is an account, here's the balance, it's negative, here's what I did today. That's good. We need that transparency. But when I see those negative balances, something's going on. You're not respecting your daily risk budget, or you're trading too big, or I don't know what's going on. So I'm not capable of helping everybody individually. I am capable of asking the question, and then if you guys want to share those things in our trade room, we can figure this out. We can get better together. Because when we do have our Trader Talk Tuesdays very often, and there are some traders that are having success and explaining what they do, generally they're not doing anything different except abiding by their daily risk budget and trading one of the two strategies, and for the most part staying away from the NASDAQ, but not always. All right, we're going to probably get stopped out here. And here's the micro order over here. Platform you're looking at is called Tickblaze. You can get Tickblaze for free. You can connect it to any Rhythmic data feed. So you can get Rhythmic from 15, 20 different firms. If you get your data feed from PropShop and you're in an authorized country, you can get an account right now for $71.55. That includes your activation fee. Don't do that if you blow up accounts very often. Don't do that if you're not capable of passing within a month, because otherwise you're going to have a built-in activation fee in your subscription fee that you have to pay every month. As I mentioned, I am working on a program that I think, or an account that would be great, and we'll see if they offer it, and we'll see if we can get it done. It'd be something about the discount being about the same, but the renewal would only be about $29. As long as you didn't blow it up, there would be no resets. So if you want the deal with a $29 recurring subscription, then if you did it with my coupon here of 55% off, let's say you took more than 1 month, but you did it in the second month, you pay that extra $29. Now you have an account for $100. Okay, we got stopped out there.
Order filled. Position open.
Order filled.
Checking in over here with my longs in the Dow. Just going to take one right here.
Order filled.
Rebuy the minus ones.
Order
so this is the
submitted.
Dow Jones here, folks, today, where it looks a little different
Order
than,
filled.
well, recently a little
Position
different
open.
than the MES, right? By the way, I'm probably gonna get a short on here. There we go. Okay, we're short. Now, if this was a micro, which it is over here,
Order filled.
sell some micros over
Position
here.
open. Order filled.
I have a lot
Position
more
open.
flexibility than I do with this trade. If this thing starts moving against me, it's like against my nature to even let it do anything. I'm just going to hit the close button. It's not jittery or anything. It got outside the band. But if you're trading a micro, now you can take a little heat, trade around it, maybe do an ad at VWAP. Gives you a lot more flexibility. Put targets right around in here.
Order modified. Order filled. Position closed. Order pending.
If you're experiencing slippage, then buy the bid when you want to go long and sell the ask when you want to go short. There you go, Jeremy. That's a great turnaround day. So the 233 EMA, there's a good question. This is what we call the T-line. I have this here just out of a little bit of legacy stuff, folks. I don't do anything with the T-line here for discretionary trading. It's something that I use in my automated strats that I actually don't even trade automated strats on this stay in your lane strategy anymore, but it used to be used for a sizing metric. So the logic was very simple. If price was above the T-line when there was a signal, it would trade more contracts than if it was below for a long, and the opposite for a short. So if you're, for instance, this is just meandering inside the zone here, but if you were to come up and take this short here, I'm just making this up. I mean, it's not really a short here, but at prices below, it would be a 2 lot here or a 3 lot instead of a 1 lot. So it's just logic associated with that. I had a screw up over here on these accounts today where this account was trading the opposite direction for the whole morning. I wasn't looking at it. So it's a bummer because, you know, up a little $100 gains in all the PAs except for F this one up. So I'm done trading it because it's kind of close to the daily risk budget, and that account's $440. But Monday had a PA Apex red day, about like a very small R. And then we've been profitable the last 3 days. So this would be a little time in trade, or I would just cancel and close this.
Order canceled. Order filled.
Just done.
Position closed.
Done with that. But over here, I'm fine to hold this. There's a little indecision here. Could it work its way outside the bands and move up? Fortunately, I'm long. I'm long the MES kind of in the real world in terms of this right here. Oh, next week I'm going to be trading this silliness. I'm going to trade the plus 500 account. I'm doing a little partnership with these guys. It's a very simple web interface. We're not going to look to add any of the indicators or anything over here. Just going to keep it as simple as you could get, but use it as order execution for live trades. And I'm going to, in front of everybody, I'm going to grow. I already made $93, but I'm going to grow 2,500 to probably 5,000 or 7,500 over the next 3 or 4 months. No withdrawals, no nothing, just the same small account kind of challenge stuff. So we can tune in for that soon. All right, so this is starting to get outside the zone. There's no signal. There's no additional short until you get all the way up to VWAP. So just leave that up there. Looks like the Dow's starting to rally a little bit as well. I will take profit on the Dow at VWAP as well. Anyone long Dow? Anyone long the markets here? Get a little recovery from the NASDAQ too. NASDAQ up to now. Earlier or right now, I've been shorting the S&P against the minus ones. I'll do that occasionally with NASDAQ. I don't really trade the NASDAQ that much, but it's much more treacherous to fade the rips in the NASDAQ, as you guys all know, right? So a lot easier to do that here in against the minus ones right now. So let me just sell another one.
Order filled.
Here we go. All right, let's put the orders in here.
Order pending.
Okay, so now I'm going to put in long orders here on the full ES, and I'll pick a swing level right here. Lots of discretion with this. You can just decide when and if you want to do things like use these little swing levels. You can see them very clearly on these brick wicks. Get the same order over here. Again, these are all the accounts that I'm
order pending.
Okay if things go awry.
Order filled.
Cover here. These are
Order
very
filled.
scalpy markets right now, so just trade what we got.
Order pending.
Yep. Didn't get anything going on this account, so see if we can get
Order
one here.
pending. Order filled.
Okay, so now Kerpos in the real world
Order pending.
is long a little bit of Dow, and then over here in these PropShop accounts, I'm short
Order
a little
filled.
MES.
Position open.
Oops. Let's move that out of the way. So there's some cool stuff going on right now. It might be more than most people would be willing to all absorb. But another advantage that you have with prop programs is the ability to walk forward test things simultaneously if you are able to do this. So for instance, is this a long or short? Well, the answer, it depends. I'm playing this from the short side right now. I had noticed when I came back that during this whole afternoon session, couldn't get outside the bid zone. Now with about 20 minutes left in the day, buyers are coming in. They're trying to get it out of the bid zone. So I could be wrong here and we could just rally out and I'm wrong there, right? Fine. Over here in a PA, I'm long, right? And now in this PA,
Order submitted.
I'll buy this pullback to the -1 as a long and put an order in here too.
Order submitted.
When we have multiple orders resting like this, it's called peppering the book. This is a $250,000 PA, so it's has an $880 risk budget. I will occasionally trade up to 4 to 6 micros. But the orders that you see resting here, you can't do that with minis. Literally in every sense, you can't. That's reckless trading should you be doing something like that.
Order filled.
You could do that if you had a truly like an $8,000 or $10,000 daily risk budget, which in order to have a $10,000 daily risk budget, you'd need an account with like $400,000 in it. So there's the look there. And then over here, I'm short. Am I violating any rules? Am I purposely hedging one position against the other? No. I'm just walk forward testing something. Hey, how many times, what if I had been trading against the -1s the whole afternoon? I'd be up really, really nicely today, right? The results of this last trade wouldn't matter to me at all. Also, if you want to make better decisions more often, trade smaller, because when this number is 18 versus 187, you're just going to put yourself in a lot better spot to make better decisions.
Order filled. Order pending. Order filled. Order pending. Order filled.
Checking in with the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is working its way out as well. So look at all this trading I was doing around here down near the bottom, not waiting for really the move back up. Not that easy to follow along with everything that I'm doing here, but when we first started the stream, I was short the full the full ES. Made a little bit of money, then it started to move against me here, and I just closed it. Because I'm just not capable of allowing a trade that's... Because you know what you're taught all the time. Oh, you need to have confidence. That's my favorite thing. You got to have confidence in your strategy, and if you don't have confidence, then what you're going to do is you'll be jittery and you won't let things... Look, you guys all know how to let things go to your stop, right? You'll just hold a loser till it hits your stop. But so very often you're not holding for any kind of target. So you have a built-in negative reward to risk, just the way you are probably naturally discretionarily trading. So rather than be rigid and like a robot and everything like that, just find ways to be impatient with unprofitable positions if they happen to be unprofitable and start to move outside. If the theory and logic behind this entry here on the S&P was for it to stay inside the bands because it had touched the -1s and had been trading in the bid zone for several hours, and now it gets outside and it establishes a little bit of a different visual price pattern, and the T line starts to slope up and this line starts to flatten, it's a little microclimate change potentially, right? So I don't want to F around and find out. I'm just going to hit the close button. It's not about confidence in my system.
Order pending.
We got 3 more minutes, and then we'll get probably a little bit of a burst on market on close. We'll see what happens there.
Order filled.
I need the Dow Jones to rally here a little bit. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. So let me just go from bottom up. Be fun to hear me on Top Step. I can never be on Top Step because we've already had discussions with those guys about, what I would basically say. I certainly couldn't still be on there with the existing coaches and existing people they have on there who are, look at how much I've taken in payouts by, running up my 100th account that I now have had for a long... There's a couple guys that are saying, no one's had a funded account as long as me. Well, yeah. You decided to choose one that you decided not to be a bozo with. Congratulations. Sarb's asking about gold. I'm not even going to look at gold. I would just tell you it is nearly the close for the stock indices today. I wouldn't be trading gold at this time. I wouldn't even look at gold past 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't even look at it. Just stop trading gold by the early part of the central afternoon. I don't run any strategies on Collective 2 any longer. How do you track what you are forward testing? Oh, it's awesome. It's called the P&L. It's called the simulator, everything. When you're trading right now, you're forward testing something. So track your results. If you want, you can use any of the, the trade journals, the free ones or paid trade journals. You can assign some tags to your trades. so that you can, tag what the trade was. You can add quantitative and qualitative data to your journals. Obviously, all the quantitative data is just an import, but you can add some qualitative. All right, there's the MOC. A little bit of a snore. I don't even know what's illegal at Apex. I'm not exactly sure what we were talking about. It's illegal at all firms to trade in two different directions and trade micros against minis and all that stuff. At one point today I was showing a position in PropShop that's different than a position that I have over in Apex. There's nothing illegal about that. Now, if you are running a scheme in which you tell people, "Hey, give me some money and I'll pass you over here and I'll buy 10 accounts at one firm and 5 at the other, and then we'll trade them different directions and we'll get some things passed," and yeah, that's bullshit, and don't do that. I cannot believe there's a company that these two guys out of, I think they were in Serbia or something. They made like $3 or $4 million. They finally got shut down by Facebook for advertising on Instagram, and they made like $3 million from schmucks paying them money to pass prop programs for them. I think it was FXCFD stuff, but I know there's some folks doing that in the futures markets as well. How stupid do people have to be to think what we're gonna pass one for you. You just pay us to. No understanding of how we did it or what, and then what are you going to do with it? Then we're going to trade it for you. It's the classic sports betting scam. Have 1,000 people give 500 one side, 500 the other side. Half the people won. Then give those 500 one side, the other side. 250 people have won. It's reverse martingale, right? All right. This is just sleepy deepy. I would normally just come over here and just close all this stuff. I mean, we don't need to leave it open. Basically profitable in all the accounts today, despite the title of this stream. But we'll just hold these positions through the close. See if market comes down a little bit. TradeZilla is good. So someone's interested in so here's there's four things that I have during my trade room open in terms of platforms: TradingView, Tickblaze, NinjaTrader, and Interactive Brokers. But Interactive Brokers just for execution. So if you are a web-based person or a Mac, then you have a couple options. You can use TradingView, of course, it's web-based. And they also have a desktop version for the Mac. And I have the strategies over here on TradingView. They're no different except we're using a 5-minute. Or you can get a VPS, which is probably the better solution. And I'll have a solution for a VPS which will come bundled with all the software and stuff on it probably within the next 30 days. We're going to do it with Quant VPS. But this is a VPS right here that you could run on on a Mac if you wanted to. But yes, most thick client trading software is Windows based. So I did a little video on, friends don't let friends trade on Macs. But you can certainly figure it out. What I don't do is trade directly on the Tradeovate web app. So we don't do that. If you're interested in that, there is a link in the description below. It's $249. I used to say, and I mentioned this in my trade room today, and some of you have never heard from me before, and there's so much bullshit on YouTube and in the world in general in terms of people selling courses or expertise or training or what have you. But what I have confidently said, and I know this and mean this because it's all changed since 2019, 2018, when the micros came out, then low-cost prop programs came out, and we had this 1-2 punch of powerful, despite what all the naysayers want to say about real traders trading micros and how scammy prop programs are. Leave all that negativity behind. This is the best time ever to truly change your life financially by learning how to develop a skill because of those two factors, micros and low-cost prop programs. So what I can confidently say is that people that make an investment in my trade room for a lifetime, in other words, as long as it takes, I'll be here next year, I'll be here the year after that. I'm here until Bitcoin hits 1 million or HNT gets like 50. Honestly, I have fuck you money forever if HNT even gets to like 25 again, but that's beyond the point. Okay. And if you don't know what HNT is, it's the helium token. Go buy that. Stop buying XRP. No. All right. I digress. To finish my thought, if you were to make an investment of $2,000, $2,500 in lifetime access to my trade room, I will do everything in my power to make sure it is the last investment you ever have to make in anything that has anything to do with understanding how to speculate properly in financial markets. But now I'm doing it even differently. I'm saying that if you apply yourself for 90 days, watch the replays, come into the trade room, do the work, I'm hopeful that you will decide to continue on as a member, maybe upgrade to annual, maybe upgrade to lifetime. We'd love to have you in the room. It creates great vibes and all those kinds of things. But even if you didn't, if you just spend $249 and you apply yourself for 90 days and you listen to what I'm saying and watch what I'm doing, Rod, I can't figure out what you're doing at all. Okay. I have had up on the screen this entire time, this position, right? I am short 2 MES. At a somewhat meaningless level, we got slightly outside the bands. We'll talk through all that stuff. You can ask me questions in the chat room, and I'll do my best to not make fun of you. But now you have an opportunity to invest $249 and truly have that be the last time you ever have to buy a course, a signal, an indicator, a bot, visit a trading room, do anything like that. 3 minutes left. Let's see if I think the Dow is, yeah, let's see. We could hit target here. I'm going to take that right there.
Order filled.
Okay, given the movement here, I would just come in here and close all positions. So I'm going to close all positions.
Order filled.
And
Position
go to these orders
closed.
right here and cancel all these orders. And
Order canceled.
I was still not able to blow up these accounts yet. I'm trying, but we haven't been able to. So it can be the last investment you ever make. I can tell you this, you'll be well on your way to a return on investment, especially if you're doing some of these prop programs that will be better than anything that I know that's out there. On average, every 3 to 5 days, one of these accounts gets up to payout. So today it's this account right here, 155, 118. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I play the game because that's the way they set up the game at Apex. So this is 155, 118. I won't trade this anymore for the next 3 days. I'll request a payout of $2,750. It will get approved. And then this balance will be back to about 153 as I'm building these up. These within the next week or two will be back up at 155. I'll do the same thing. We rinse and repeat. It's right here on the screen. It takes me a long time to doctor these numbers. See how the market moved pretty nicely outside of the bands here? Could have gone the other way. Kind of random. Nasdaq's rallying. Nasdaq can get all the way up to VWAP. That 23,500 has been kind of a number for a little while. All right, we're at 1 o'clock. I mean, it's subtle, gang, but I even closed these trades. I don't know if you saw. I mean, I think you did. I closed these trades. I lost $38.90 in $38.90 in the MES in account number 12. In account number 13 over here in the ES, I made $439.80. All right. If there's no other questions, yeah, it's like 60 trading days. Yeah, 3 months. Thank you. There's a book here too. Let me come over here to the Prop Done Right ebook. By the way, I'm going to come over here and cancel all these accounts. Or excuse me, cancel all these orders. So I'm going to cancel these orders. Cancel orders.
Order canceled.
So we're all done. I've only ever had 40 PAs at Apex. None of them ever blown. They're slightly out of order because they have they're between Rhythmic and Tradeovate. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 30, where's 30? 31, 32. Can I count? Where's 33? 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. You get what I'm getting at. There's 15 of them there now. Okay? Do you need 15 accounts from any firm? No, you don't. Get to a couple, get to 3, get to 5. Have them be smaller accounts, $50,000 ones. I switched to the 150s and 250s to give myself a challenge. I was just tired of passing and moving on. So now I have 5 250,000s. You see how slowly I trade this? The balance is $3,423. 2,051. But add this all up, and what is it? I don't know. These are not funded accounts, so these ones are. It's the most risk-adjusted returns you can generate. You'll get to the point where you're in a Zen state where you won't even care about losing days. And the only reason is not because of my strategies. A lot of the time people say the strategies, they've really helped, and that's fine. That's great. Puts you in a state of clarity, puts you in markets in better positions generally. But it's all about embracing the challenge that you're given, which is growing a small account and having your green days be measured by your red days. And the moment that you suffer big losses, you're no longer producing any kind of risk-adjusted returns. All of your data is meaningless. If you guys want a fascinating little talk, Google John Netto or the Netto number. There's some old clips of him talking about it. It's a friend of mine here from Las Vegas. He came up with a very simple formula for producing truly risk-adjusted returns to measure alpha, to measure outperformance. Because if you and I both get $100,000 and you make 30%, but your path through 30% is through a 34% drawdown, and I make 15%, but my path to 15% is through a 4% drawdown, I am an infinitely, infinitely better trader in every metric than the first person. And the trader that has 15 to 20% returns with 4 to 5% drawdowns can attract infinite amounts of money. Infinite amounts of money. And the mistake that everybody is making with these programs is thinking that because they set them up a certain way, that you can't navigate them properly. You can. Literally, who cares about trailing drawdown versus end of day? Who cares about you can only get 4 simulated payouts before you can't buy any more evaluations? Who cares about any of the stuff, honestly? Anyway, I'll leave it there. Link down below if you do want to take me up on that. We still haven't worked out our system perfectly, so give us a little bit of time. If you sign up, you're not going to get access to everything immediately. We're doing what we can. Hell, take a flyer, $249, 60 or so trading sessions. Pick up if you're not in Europe or whatever, pick up a couple of the PropShop accounts, or use Bullinox, or use Apex, or use Tradeify, or use My Funded Futures, or use your own live account if you want. Because I took these live accounts down to 5,000 from 10,000. I didn't even need them at 10,000. I had them at 7,500. I would take out. So now this account is $6,600. By the way, you cannot open an account at Interactive Brokers with $6,600 or with $5,000. I think their account minimum is 15 or 25. So, but you have multiple accounts and transfer money in and do whatever. You pick me up. But this is, oh, I'm on the wrong screen. Sorry. Whoops. Right here. Okay. And then right here. So all over the place. This account has $7,552 in it. Made $93 today. This account made $97 today. I love the haters that come at me that I'm completely full of shit because, first of all, I was like, well, you don't trade live or don't show live. And then when the account has a small balance, it's like, well, clearly you make all your money from affiliate commissions or from other things, or no real traders would broadcast on YouTube. I don't know. Can you ever give someone the benefit of the doubt? I have small amounts of money in some live accounts so that you can see that you can do this same thing without any of the prop programs. You can literally pay your mortgage with 10 grand in the futures markets, maybe 15 grand. 15 grand, I can teach you. If your mortgage is like $25,000 to $4,000, you can make that every month with $15,000. And I will show you how, with the power of micros, high probability entries, and risk-adjusted returns. And that doesn't scale. Okay, so I want to make this very clear. You can't deposit $15,000 and then compound it, and then because at some point you'll have to trade bigger. You'd have to add more size. It changes the whole formula. Okay, but this formula is a recipe to printing money, and you guys are not taking advantage of it. You're spiraling around all over the place trying to figure out how to set up your charts. I guess I understand that's where things start. But even if you don't join my group, just try for the next couple months in your own accounts, if you happen to be doing these prop programs, just not losing more than $200 or $300 ever. Hit the moment it says 289, you just hit the close button, you flatten everything, and you're done. Just try to do that. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, John Netto, look him up. If you start typing in John Netto, what comes up a lot of times is John Netto net worth. Yeah, 40 PAs, that's fine. 40 in the history of Apex. I did a thing a little while ago when I said I'm done with Apex, and I am. I'm not buying any more evaluations. I don't need to do it anymore. I've had multiple months of payouts this year. I've never had a problem. I don't think that it goes through any other review cycle or thing other than it's a small number and there's no drawdown in my accounts and it just gets approved and paid. Go listen to the Trader Talk Thursday. I've mentioned Mark Yu a number of times. Super humble guy, still has a full-time job as in the legal world, making $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 a month on 6 $50,000 accounts from Bullinox. I get the question about how long this all took, gang. I've been doing this so long. I started at Merrill Lynch in 1993. You know, Merrill Lynch in 1993, and so it's been a long time. All this, So before I forget, I like to go over here and I'm going to close this. Lost $18.50 or $28 in these accounts today. Let's go ahead and go to orders. Sorry, this is off the screen. So this is a VPS that I'm using. And over here, I have 3 master accounts from Bullinox. You're only allowed to have 3 at a time. I don't even keep up with the rules. I haven't taken a payout from here in quite a while. But I trade them somewhat frequently, try to have a trade on every day so I don't get dinged for non-activity. So when you pass an account at Bullinox, it's turned into an M account. It's called a master account. So again, slow and steady. I'll work my way up to 55,000 in these, so I have a little bit of a buffer, and then I'll start taking $500, $1,500 out of each one of these. I have funded accounts at 14 firms, I think. Maybe 15 now. You guys can all do this. This is Top Step. This is Tick. All right, that'll be it. It's better to trade ES than NQ. It's not. You can't trade either of them. MES or MNQ, and the MES is infinitely better than the NQ, than the MNQ. How do you clear the cache in Tickblaze? I don't know. That's a good question. You might just look at the help. For those that, my friend on Tickblaze is I come over here and I go to menu and tools or help, and I go to the customer support or video tutorials, and I generally try to find the answer. So in terms of how long it took me, it took a long time. I stepped on my dick for a long time, but I've been doing this 100% professionally since 2011, so that's about 14 years. And then I always had trades on and been trading the futures markets as a good portion of my income. And then about 7 or 8 years ago, I started trading futures options almost exclusively. What minimum should I have to trade a personal account? $5,000 is good for this methodology. If you do $5,000, you can't have more than really 1 to 2 MES, no NASDAQ, and like 1 to 3 MES. 1 to 3 YM. Okay. Last thing here, because I am going to eliminate 4 of these accounts tomorrow for sure. I'm just going to get rid of whatever, 13, 12, 15, these. I could trade them all the way back to even. We could make money on them. These are gladiator accounts. I paid $150 for them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate them so we get these all as warrior status again. And we're going to go through and do this in 20 to 30 days. Or I will do it in front of you in my trade room. So, and you'll see that it's possible. Because the wire-to-wire challenge means that you pay for, activate, and take profit from your first accounts that you ever do. There's no need to blow things up. I could keep talking forever, but I'm not happy about the fact that they're offering $25 and $50 resets. Fuck that. That encourages people to not give a shit about the account. And I know the reaction to always that, well, they're just greedy. They just want to make money. None of this is real. It's all bull. No. You have an amazing opportunity to do these things right. Plus, at PropShop, they're going to give you daily risk assessments. If you're doing anything that would prohibit you from receiving a payout, you will be notified ahead of time. Let me say that again. If you're doing anything that would deny you from getting a payout, you will be notified ahead of time. You can appeal and rectify the situation, or if you continue to trade in that manner, there is a huge long paper trail that will tell you you are not going to get paid out if you trade in that manner. I don't know what else you want some of these firms to do. I hope all the firms start to adopt something like that. That alone is a golden feature at PropShop. Tickblaze still has some issues. They're working on it. It'll get better. Platform's only been around for a year and a half. If you don't like the payout rules or anything about any firm that I happen to be talking about and mentioning, then just choose another one. Or choose your own, trade your own live account. But do not over-leverage yourself. Do not trade in a manner that's not realistic to what would work in the real world. And know that this is possible. That's really probably the most important thing. You got to have unwavering faith and then put in the extraordinary effort. All right, that'll be it for today. Stay green, trade like you mean it. All the details down below. You don't have to pay for anything if you don't want to. Futures Fanatic Foundation course, 30-video course, absolutely free. Link down below. The Prop Done Right ebook, of course, absolutely free. Comes with a 10-video course where I basically read the book to you, absolutely free. 2-week free trial if you want, absolutely free. And until tomorrow, I won't stream tomorrow. Until tomorrow, you can join the trade room for 90 days for $249. It does renew at $99 a month, which is still better than the monthly. You can cancel if you don't want to. I'm hopeful that, and I know right now that at least half the people that have come on board here are going to upgrade to lifetime or annual because I've just seen it. You're going to be a believer. And the other half, maybe it's not for them or whatever. And the reason that I think that upgrade, you don't have to do anything now, but come the fall, I don't know, around Halloween or Thanksgiving or whatever. I can't do my math in 90 days from now. Hopefully you guys will all just join forever and then you can come and go as you please and, kids get sick or graduate or something happens in life or you take a vacation or whatever. You want a community that you can come back to that you don't have to worry about any additional. I want you to join and be with us forever. We have over 400 members that are lifetime. And a couple hundred of them I've never heard from again. Not because, they left the nest and it's fun to come in and listen to some AI music and have a good time or listen to me talk about how I'm going to lose my bet on the Dodgers because I don't think they're going to win 104 games, or whatever we want to talk about. But there's a vast majority of success stories that put in their time for a little while and are, to my knowledge, just out there crushing it in the markets. Essentially, you cannot use NinjaTrader with PropShop. There are ways to do it with copiers, but no. So if you're going to select PropShop, you're going to have to trade on any Rhythmic platform except for Ninja. So that's Addis, that's Quant Tower, that's name them, Motive Wave. You can trade on RTrader directly. You can trade on Tickblaze, of course. Any Rhythmic supported platform. There's 10 of them, 15 of them. For funded accounts, let me answer these questions real quick. For funded accounts at Apex, but they are Tradevate, can I link them somehow to Tickblaze? There are ways to do this, but not really. Not a Tradevate Rhythmic connection that way. No. You got to trade them independently. There are ways to do this, but it's way too much to get into. You can check my website for kind of combinations of copiers and things like that. But I'd keep them independent. All right, I think I answered all the questions. Yeah, John Netto was featured in the latest Market Wizards book. I don't know how to clear cash. I'll keep preaching. PropShop does not have Project X. No. So PropShop currently only supports Rhythmic platforms. It's just all they have is Rhythmic. So just Rhythmic platforms. In the background, there's so many things being worked on, but you can't. We got to get the core Windows platform working well first, right? Okay, and again, this thing, my Tickblaze enters me in a $15 lot. I have no idea what that means. I trade on it all day long. If you are experiencing slippage, then stop using market orders. It doesn't slip you at all on a limit order. And if, like for instance, let's say I'm going to come up here real quick, okay? So let's say I want to get short right here. Do not hit the market button, hit the sell ask button. If I wanted to get long right here, hit the buy bid button. I mention that all the time. So let the slippage work in your favor if you're saying it does it every single time. Equity curve. No, everyone's independent. Everyone's doing their own thing. What you can do is go in and look at the, you join the group and you go to the members Discord and hunt around a little bit. Go to the payouts channel and I have to encourage people to print, do their payouts in here. We had some conversations with people that are tracking a lot of their stuff in one of the trade journals, and they do show equity curves and they show things like that. The challenge I have with all that is I don't know what their daily risk budget is. We're not assigning actual netto numbers to things. So an equity curve is meaningless if I don't understand what the risk-adjusted returns were for it. Now, the other thing that's nice about so many of these things now is you have what do you have? You have like TopStep has great analytics now. The analytics they pick still are pretty crappy. The charts are pretty crappy from the analytics standpoint. The analytics on wealth charts, which is something they're offering, are really. There's just so many tools and so many ways to do it. So anyway, but in terms of what a journey looks like, oh my God, who knows? I'll tell you what the journey, honestly, and this is why I do the talks with our community members. The journey so often, the reoccurring theme was, I joined 9 months ago, and for the first 6 months, I didn't listen to you. Or I joined a year and a half ago, and I passed all these prop programs, and I was getting payouts, and I kind of enjoyed the banter, and I liked the community, but I was doing my own thing, and then I blew everything up, and got all this money, I got frustrated, and then I sort of just went back to it and decided I'd just do what you're telling me to do. And now things are working out. So those are the journeys. The journeys are equity curves that look like nonsense because people are not doing anything close to what I'm showing or talking about. And if I really was going to do this properly and bore the crap out of the vast majority of people, we would just come in and only stay on this chart the whole time. Just stay on this chart the whole time. Was it a little treacherous this morning with the Dow? Without a doubt. Did it eat into people's daily risk budget to the point where some people had to take a big R? Sure, it can do that. Yesterday was brilliant. It moved up and down. It was great. So we would just sit here on the Dow Jones and we would bore the hell out of ourselves because after this fall, right? After this fall, which was treacherous and there was almost no opportunities to really exit, once it finally held the line, okay, and put in, and this is in real time, everybody, when these lines are here once the swing happens, right? So it's not like this is looking in the past too much. You can walk forward, test this stuff. So if I were to go to a bid zone here, so this starts to present itself, okay, and we can't not get back to the -2s. There was no touch of the -2s again. So situational fluency, and again, I don't want anybody to be all-day traders. You lost in the morning, you should be done, right? Morning provides the most amount of opportunities, but if we're here trading this for the rest of the day and we're only on this chart, We come back in and you start to see, I don't know what you want to call it, structure support or areas in which there's selling exhaustion or whatever. The bottom line is it's all happening in the bid zone, and it's happening in the bid zone without touching the -2s. So at this point, you start to see this enough. You make a little bit of a shift. You don't start trading again if you already hit your daily risk budget. But if you're still within your daily risk budget, there was a bunch of people that start on the start of the stream today. They said they were from a small R or near their risk budget. Now they got to a big G. You earn the right to do that. As long as you haven't violated it, you can still keep trading. If you just did this and traded 1 to 3, maybe as many as 4 when you get going, and only the Dow Jones, and that's all you did for this 60 days, it might bore you to death, but it's going to teach some patience and discipline, and you'll start to develop the bad word here, the F word, the feel. You will truly start to feel and see. It'll be a visual price pattern. Your brain will start to identify, especially on the brick wicks. Like, the reason I tell people is not because of the visual price patterns that these Renkos make. I find them easier to scalp with and to see quick price movement and things like that. But really, it's because it adapts. It creates these swing levels here that you can look at this versus this versus whereas this. Here's the Dow on a 5-minute. Ugh. Yuck. I mean, you can say that you would start to eventually see something like what I drew in there, like kind of in here eventually. You should definitely have somewhat been in here this time for this run. This was the run that I made this afternoon. All right, I could just keep talking forever, but I used to the question about shark indicator. I've been doing this for so long. I had all these strategies fully coded on shark. You can run it. I mean, I'm not giving them to anybody, but you could do this. Is amazing where it always buys the -2s or sells the +2s and has all kinds of additional logic. You know, shark's great for but these days you could have freaking ChatGPT write you some C# or C++ script that runs on Ninja, and you don't even need shark. All right, that'll be it. Stay green, trade like me, and everybody check the description down below for all the goodness, and hope to see some new members here very soon. I added PayPal too, which is a pain in the ass. I don't like PayPal. They have problems with the resubscriptions and things like that. If you use PayPal, I don't know why, but our system does not notify you when the term is up. Okay? So don't come at me if, 90 days from now you forget and then it renews at just $99, not another $249, just $99. But if you use PayPal, I don't know why it doesn't work. So there's no notification that goes out that tells you that you're going to get rebilled. But hey, 95% of you are going to upgrade to lifetime before then anyway. Look forward to seeing you there. Stay green. Have a great weekend. We'll be in the trade room tomorrow for our Fun Day Friday, but I don't stream on Fridays. Be good. Bye.